Hello, everybody, and welcome to today's training session. My name is Megan, and I'm one of the members here of the Smart Safeguarding support team. Um, in terms of what we're going to run through today, we're going to cover what is Smart Safeguarding. We're going to do an end-to-end walkthrough of the system. We're going to talk about how you can get help. And finally, the next steps on getting your facility up and running on the system. So just before we begin, Smart Safeguarding is a digital solution that enables organizations to simplify and manage their vetting procedures through the appropriate authorities. So Ireland Active and ourselves have been working together to bring you this system for you to start using to get your staff members vetted with the Garda. So we're just going to jump straight into the demo. We also just want to say a massive thank you for opting in to be part of the pilot facilities release. Essentially what we want to do is get this out to a few facilities, get you to have a look around, to play around with the system, get some of your staff members to actually submit their new vetting applications. And what we'll do as well is we'll try and gather feedback from yourselves before we release this to all of Ireland's Active's facilities. Okay, so we're just going to quickly go to our Smart Safeguarding system. I just want to make you aware this is our test system. Therefore, this is all fake information and fake data. So don't be alarmed if you see anybody's names or addresses. It's all our test data. So we are using, like I said, our test system. Use, of course, will be obviously using the real Smart Safeguarding. But what I'll be doing is I'll be sending out an email to Anne at some stage for her to send that out, including any links that you may need and links to our help centre as well. So to begin, one of the first things that you need to do, and obviously as a facility admin, you will need to create an account. Likewise, so will your staff. So what you're going to do is when you navigate to the Smart Safeguarding system, if you click on this create an account button. Now because this is our test system, we have a few options here, but when you actually go in to log into our live system, you'll only have Ireland Active to choose from. So you want to go ahead and choose Ireland Active, and then you're going to be brought to the account creation screen. So you're just asked to enter some information. So I'm just going to add Mary Kelly, put in your email address. So I'm going to add and I'm just going to actually add Mary in here so that I know. Put in a password that makes sense for yourself. And once you've filled out this information, we obviously want to ensure that you're over the age of 16 and you've also read and agreed to our terms and conditions and cookie policy. So after ticking the check boxes, you can then go ahead and click create an account. And what that will do is that will send an email to your email address that you've just provided with a code. And this is basically just to verify that email address that you've entered is accessible by yourself. So if I just quickly go to my emails here, you will see you will get an email from Ireland Active via the Smart Safeguarding system, and you will be given a 6-digit code. So I'm just going to copy and paste that in and click confirm. Once I do that, I'm going to be brought to my profile, and this is where you want to fill out as much of the information as you can. So I'm just going to add in, oh, sorry, then add in your phone number and then your address. So you want to make sure that the address that you're entering here within your profile, if you are going to submit an application through the system, you want to make sure this is the address that also matches the documents that you're planning to upload. So please make that aware to your staff as well. Next, you're going to select your organization. So what we have done is we have added all the relevant facilities to the system, and as your staff members or as you create them, obviously as an admin, you can go in and choose your organization. So just for this testing purpose, I'm going to use CoreFit Ireland. And what you'll see here is you're asked for a verification code. So something similar to the email verification code. But essentially what we want to do is we want to make sure that people who are adding your organization or facility to their profile are actual members, or sorry, actual staff members of that said facility. So every organization and facility on Smart Safeguarding will be given a 6-digit verification code. This will be accessible by any admin within the facility, and you can also update this code anytime you wish via the system. So what is going to happen is we're going to provide the codes for you. Because either myself or Anne will send that out to you, and then you'll be able to pass that on to your staff members. So we would advise, before asking a staff member to get vetted on the Smart Safeguarding system, that you provide them with the 6-digit code, because essentially they'll not be able to complete their profile without this 6-digit code. So I have the code just saved in the background here, so I'm just going to populate that in, but I will show you how you can get it at a later stage. So I'm going to click Save Changes, and my profile has now been created. So I can go into the profile and make any changes I wish. I can also upload a photo if I would like to, but that is basically creating an account on Smart Safeguarding. Now, as an admin, you will need to do this, and also any staff members who are wishing to be vetted will also be required to create an account. Once they create an account, they can then submit a application form. So what I'm going to do here for this demo is I'm going to take you through submit an application from the point of view of a staff member. I'm then going to log in as the facility admin and show you what you can do in regards to your access. And I'll also show you how you can navigate around the system, obviously, as an admin for your organization. So I am going to go in and start my new application. And step 1 is essentially your application details. All of your details from your profile will be pulled across. So I just want to make sure, obviously, all of this is correct. The next step is choosing the role. So I have a list of options to choose from. So I'm just going to go ahead and click gym instructor. So we basically want you to choose the role that closely matches the role you've been allocated within your facility. Next, you want to obviously read through and confirm that the information you've provided is correct, and that you consent to send this information to the National Vetting Bureau. So after you tick them checkboxes, you want to go to the next step. This will just give you a bit of a summary from the previous page. And now we're into actually providing the relevant documents. So one of the first things your staff member is going to need to do is they're going to have to download this declaration form. So clicking the download button, you will be given the Ireland Active Declaration form. This needs to be printed, and this needs to be signed with pen. This cannot be an electronic signature. It cannot be filled out electronically. It must be printed. It must be signed with a pen and then re-uploaded back to the Smart Safeguarding system. So this is a requirement from the National Vetting Bureau, We are hoping that in due course we'll be able to do electronic signatures, but for now it must be a wet signature with a pen. So as a staff member, I will download this and I will fill out the relevant information, and I will then upload that back to the Smart Safeguarding system. So I am just going to submit the document here. Click upload, and then I also have the option delete it. So if I've clicked the wrong one, I can delete that and re-upload again. So just very quickly. So that's the declaration form added. The next is the support and evidence. So you must provide 100 points of support and evidence. You also must be able to provide a proof of ID, so therefore a photo ID, driver's license, passport, and also proof of residential address as well. So in these two sections, you can choose the relevant document that you want to upload. Again, as we mentioned, it has to be 100 points. The system will calculate for you how many points you have uploaded. But please also be in mind that it must be, one must have a photo and one must be proof of address. So I'm going to choose passport and I'm going to upload the file. So again, this is all fake information. This is a fake passport. So that's that uploaded. If I want to, so for example, if I didn't have a passport and had to maybe make up certain points, I can add another document if I so wish. However, I'm just going to close that section. Next, I'm going to move on to the ID, which is proof of address. So here I've got a few options. I'm going to go with a utility bill. One of the things to point out is that's probably the most common that people will pick. It must be less than 6 months old from the date of your application, and phone bills are not allowed. So I'm going to go ahead again and upload. So again, this is a fake electricity bill. And what you'll see here is I have currently got 105 points. So I have met all of the criteria. I've uploaded the forms. I've uploaded my documents, and I'm going to go ahead and click complete application. So now that I have done that, as a staff member, there's nothing else that you need to do. This application has now been sent off to the facility. So this is where you come in to play. There will be email notifications throughout this process. So what has just happened here is now that I've submitted the application, what you will see here is the facility will get an email to say, hello, Mary Kelly has now submitted an application that requires you to review. And also Mary will also, so the staff member will also get an email to let them know that an application has been submitted for them. So both, any parties that are involved will be informed throughout the process where it's required. So as a staff member, I've done what I need to do. I've submitted my application. I do have the option if I wish to cancel. So maybe in a scenario where I've uploaded the wrong documents, I can go in and cancel that application and resubmit again if need be. But what I'm going to do is I'm going to actually just log out as the staff member, and I'm going to log in now as a facility admin. So as I mentioned, this is going to be where you come in. When you log in, you will see all the applications that have been submitted within your facility. So obviously this is our test system, so I have quite a few here already. As an admin, you will also see all the members who are listed within your facility as well. So anybody that has created an account and has added your facility to their profile, they will also appear here. And then finally, you'll also be able to update your organization. So very quickly, in terms of this, your administration, you're able to go in and update the details of your facility. As you'll see here, you can see the sign up verification code. So by clicking this wee eye icon, you can display the 6-digit code to pass out to your staff members. If for whatever reason you want to regenerate a code, you can do so by clicking this button. This will basically just generate a random 6-digit code for your facility. Again, just to reiterate, you need to give this code to your staff members before they go on to create an account in Smart Safeguarding. And then finally, you can update the address as well. One thing that you cannot update at the minute is your vetting email. This is the email that will receive any notifications from the Smart Safeguarding system. So this will inform you if an application has been submitted within your facility that requires you to have a look, an application that's maybe coming back from Ireland Active, an application that's been rejected. There's so many notifications that you will get throughout the process that will get sent to this vetting email address. So please make sure that this email address is correct. If it isn't, please contact Anne and she can update it for you on the system. So one of the other things you can do within the member section here is you can click into each member and you can see their details. You can also edit their details if you need to. Obviously, first, please do get their consent before you make any changes. What you'll also be able to do is you'll be able to delete a member. So if someone is no longer working in the facility, you can delete them from your facility list. Or if you are sharing the responsibility of facility admin, then you can assign admin permissions to another member. So by clicking the actions button and going set admin privileges, you can go in here and you can assign administrative access. So by doing so, a admin status will appear beside the member's name. That will then mean the next time that they log in, they will have the same access that you're currently seeing. So if for whatever reason you're maybe off on leave or you're sharing the role with someone else, you can have multiple admins who can go in and view applications on behalf of your facility. So I'm just going to quickly remove the admin access from this member. So again, actions, set admin privileges, and just untick the checkbox and hit save. And as you'll see, the privileges have now been revoked. So bringing us back to Mary Kelly. So that is the staff member who has just completed an application. I can see here that it's been submitted and it's currently awaiting review. So as a facility, I need to go in here and click the view button. And I can see the application details. So as I scroll down, I can see all of Mary Kelly's information that she's added to her profile. I can also see each of the documents that she has provided. So one thing to note that this is the responsibility of the facility admin to review each of the documents that have been uploaded to make sure that they meet the requirements. So the date of birth and name is correct. That Mary has uploaded a photo ID and that is the Mary that you know. That if there's any specific documents uploaded that have to be within a certain time frame. So please do spend some time having a look at the information provided. They also need to upload the declaration form. So obviously this is a test run, so I haven't filled this out, but this needs to be signed, as mentioned again, just to reiterate, it needs to be a wet signature. It has to be a pen. If this is filled out electronic, then you will need to reject the application. Otherwise, it will be rejected at a later stage, either by Ireland Active or by the guards. So I can go in and I can review all of the details and I'm happy. I can also have a look here at the application history as well, but I am happy to say this is Mary Kelly. All of her documents are correct. If I wanted to, I can reject the application. So say the document is out of date, or she forgot to upload a photo ID, or the declaration form was signed electronically. I can go in as a facility admin and reject. And you are asked to put in a reason. So this will be visible to the applicant. So please just be mindful of that. It is really worthwhile that if you are rejecting an application, that you provide a reason as to why you're doing so. So in the scenario here, what I could do is say that the document is older than 6 months, or phone documents is, or the mobile bill isn't allowed, or the declaration form. So anything to just give them a bit of information. Once you hit reject, the applicant or the staff member will receive an email from the system explaining that their application has been rejected and a reason for it being rejected. So they can then go in and resubmit their application if they need to. But for now, I'm just going to go for the happy path, and I'm going to click validate. And again, you're asked if all the information and documents are correct. So I'm going to hit validate, and what you'll see here is that it's now updated to ID validated. Now, as a facility admin, as a facility admin, you can cancel an application as well. So say, for example, they are no longer working, or they haven't took the job, or whatever reason it may be, you can go ahead and cancel an application after it's been validated by yourselves. Now that I have validated the application, it is now gone to Ireland Active. So Anne, or another member within Ireland Active, will review the application that has been submitted. They'll also review the documents and make sure everything is okay. At that stage, they can either reject it and again send it back to the member, informing both the facility and the member why it was rejected. Or if they're happy with the application, they can then send that to the Garda system. So as a facility admin, right now you've done everything you need to do for this application. There's nothing else that you can do. It is now over to Ireland Active. They will upload it to the Garda system. The Garda, so the National Vetting Bureau, will then contact the staff member directly and get them to complete the electronic form on their system. They will then run, obviously, the relevant checks, and then they will send the information back to Ireland Active. So that's all going on, obviously, in the meantime. And I'm obviously not going to go through that process, but what you'll see is once Ireland Active then receive back the application from the Garda system, they will be provided with a disclosure form. Within that disclosure, Ireland Active can mark an application with findings or no findings, and they basically then add their findings, no findings. They can upload the disclosure to the application. They can also put a password on that disclosure. So what that means is Anne can set his password and then would share that password with you as an admin outside of the system. And it means that it's just a secure way of sending any additional information within that disclosure to the facility. So Anne will then send it back to the facility. The facility will get an email. So there will be an email, something similar to this, that will be sent to your facility. So, hello, CoreFit. A vetting application for Amanda McCann has been reviewed and has returned to you following the Garda checks. It's now over to you to make the decision. So you will have received an email. And this is one that I did yesterday. So that's the email for Amanda McCann. This is an application that has just came back from Ireland Active and the Garda. So as you'll see, we've got the application status as awaiting decision. So what I'm going to do is click this view button, and you will see here that it is currently awaiting review. Ireland Active have marked it as no findings, and they've also uploaded the disclosure form. So what you'll see here is there is this button which says decrypt and display. So Anne would have provided me with the passphrase for me to access this. So hopefully I can remember. Oh, there we go. So add in the relevant password, and I can then see the disclosure form. So obviously this isn't the disclosure form, this is just the declaration form, but this will be where Anne will upload any forms that have been sent through from the Garda. Again, you can review all the rest of the information. Go up here to the application history, and you'll see here the running commentary. So Maeve Kelly is basically on our system, the Anne of our system. So submitted to National Vetting Bureau, mark as no findings, added the disclosure, and it's now returned to the facility. So when an application is then returned, and as an admin you review the disclosure, you have the options to either reject the application or mark the application as complete. So you can, if you hit reject, again, you will be requested to put in a reason. Again, this is visible to the staff members, so please be mindful with what you're entering in there. And that will basically reject the application, and if they wish to resubmit a new application, they can do so. But for this scenario here, I'm just going to mark the application as complete. So application is completed. The status is now updated to completed. And if I go here to my members, you'll see that the vetting status for Amanda is currently completed. So if I was to go back to my emails, what you will see here is this is an email that Amanda, so the staff member, would get, basically explaining that the application they've received that was received has been completed and they've been vetted successfully. So if I was to then log in as the staff member, so if I just log in as Amanda from yesterday, when they log in, they will be able to see that their application is marked as completed, and it is currently valid from today's date until today's date 3 years in the future. So that is that staff member up vetted, sorry. And again, what I can do is, from a facility point of view, if I just log in, I can have a quick scan through my members to see who has been vetting status completed, who's maybe not started it, which ones are currently in progress. So there's Mary Kelly that we have just completed or filled out today. You can also see ones that have been rejected as well. So I appreciate that that was probably a very quick run through. What you'll find is once you start actually getting into the system and getting them a look around and getting your staff members to start their applications, hopefully a lot of it will make sense. If I just go back here in terms of help and support, so I am currently working on a number of documents, help guides for the system. So I will be sending this link on to Anne, but we have got a help center up and running. So here's some guides from a facility admin's point of view, how you go in and review and approve documents, how to reject, and then even for the staff members, the actual vetting application process itself, just so that they know the process, how they can create their own vetting application, And there's going to be a few others that will be added over the next couple of days as well. You can also contact the Smart Safeguarding support team via the help widget. So very quickly here, what you'll see is on the system, you will see this green icon in the bottom right-hand corner. This is basically our help widget. So within here, you can search our help center. So I could search for something like cancel or and click into the article and view the information. Or if I'm really stuck, I can also submit a message to the support team. So we will do our best to try and get back to you as quick as possible. But basically, you can submit a request or a question to our help center, and one of the members will pick it up. The other thing is you can also access this help section without being logged in. So if you're having any issues creating an account, or if any of your staff members are having issues, please get them to use this help widget here, and we will get them sorted out as quickly as possible. In terms of next steps now, so what we need to do is for each of the pilot facilities, we will be sending through a email correspondence over the next couple of days. That will include the recording of this walkthrough, links to our help center, instructions on what to do next. So for example, as an admin, you will need to go in and create your own profiles. Myself and Anne will send you out any sign-up codes. So obviously, in order to add the facility to your profile, you need that 6-digit code. So we will send that out to yourselves. We'll get you to then create your accounts, and then either myself or Anne can assign you the relevant access to your facility. Once that's all done, your staff members can then begin to create their own Smart Safeguarding accounts, and they can, for any of those who are in need of renewing their vetting applications, they can start the process on Smart Safeguarding. So one of the things that we want to do here is, in terms of the pilot facilities, give you a couple of days or a week or so, or however long it takes, just to have a look around the system. Also, if you have any staff members who do need to be renewed, if you can get them to do their applications on the Smart Safeguarding system, then what we can do is we can gather feedback. Either if you just want to send the feedback directly to Anne, or if you want to send it to ourselves through the help widget, we can then update the system with any sort of feedback that you think might be relevant, before we then obviously release this to all of the facilities. So as I said, thank you for joining. I appreciate that was probably a whistle-stop tour, but feel free to have a look at our help center. If there's any outstanding questions, or if we've got any troubleshooting issues, please get in contact with either Anne or myself through that widget, and we can maybe set up another session if need be. So thank you again for joining, and we will send you out an email over the next couple of days just to give you the next steps on how to get set up on Smart Safeguarding, how to get your facility admin access, and also what you need to do for your staff members as well. So thank you very much, and enjoy the rest of your day.